When I think about those places everyone wants to travel to, those exciting places with so much going on, well, the USA has got to be right up there.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you've got everything, right? Like incredible nature, those landscapes that go on forever, and then those cities, they're just bursting with energy.
Yeah, yeah.
And history, too. Historical sites all over the place. And then, of course, the cultural stuff. It's really like cutting edge. It seems like there's a perfect spot in America for everyone, no matter what kind of trip you're looking for.
Absolutely. Whether you want adventure or something more relaxing or just, to be entertained, it's all there.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we've got this really cool guide that gets into why the USA is such a big deal for travelers all over the world.
Right.
What I found really interesting is how it talks about like those really famous landmarks, the ones you see on postcards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also gets into these amazing natural wonders. And get this, it even gives you some tips on the actual planning part, like booking your trip and all that.
Oh, nice.
So, first things first, why is the USA such a popular place to visit? I mean, people from all over the world come here.
Right.
The guide calls it, and I love this, a dream destination. And when you think about it, it makes sense, right? So much history, those iconic places everyone knows, and all the different things you can do.
Yeah.
You can't really argue with that.
No, I think it's totally right. But what really makes it so attractive isn't just, the stuff to see. The guide talks about the world-class infrastructure, and that's a big deal.
Oh, okay.
Sure, you need amazing places to visit, but getting around easily, being able to explore all these different states and areas, that's what really makes the trip,
Right.
Think about those well-maintained highways, all the flights you can take within the country. It makes this huge country feel surprisingly, well, not so huge,
Yeah, you can actually get around and see it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get down to it. What are some of those places everyone wants to see? We got to start with the cities, right? And first up, it's New York City. The guide calls it a global hub for culture, fashion, and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has this, this energy that you don't find anywhere else.
It really does. And you think of New York and certain places just pop into your head, and the guide covers all the big ones.
Okay.
You've got the Statue of Liberty, and it's not just a photo op. It's like this powerful symbol. It represents immigration, and those ideas of freedom and democracy that are so important to America's story.
Yeah.
Then there's Times Square. It can be a bit much, all those lights and people, but it's right in the middle of all the Broadway theaters.
Oh, yeah.
But then, you can escape from all that and go to Central Park. It's amazing how peaceful it is, this big green space right in the middle of the city.
It's like a whole different world.
Right. And of course, you can't forget the Empire State Building. It's been part of the skyline for, forever. And those views, you really get a sense of how big Manhattan is.
And they're iconic.
Totally. And there's also the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I mean, the collection there is just mind-blowing. Art from all over the world, all throughout history. It's amazing.
So it's a mix, right? You've got that history, like with the Statue of Liberty and then the crazy energy of Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like New York is always changing, always reinventing itself.
Definitely.
Okay, let's switch coasts and head over to Los Angeles, California. Our guide calls it the entertainment capital of the world. And obviously it's like Hollywood Central.
It really is. And it's interesting how much of LA's identity is tied up with movies and TV. The Hollywood Walk of Fame, even though it's super touristy, it shows you how important that history is.
Yeah.
And Universal Studios Hollywood, it's not just a theme park. You actually get to see how they make movies. But LA isn't just about Hollywood, of course. The guide also mentions the Santa Monica Pier. It's a classic California beach experience. And Griffith Observatory gives you another view of the city, plus they have cool space exhibits.
Oh, cool.
And then there's Disneyland. I mean, come on, that's like a whole cultural thing in itself.
It's true. So it's a mix of that Hollywood glam, the California sunshine vibe, and just plain fun.
Exactly.
Next up, Las Vegas, Nevada. The guide says it has lively nightlife, luxurious casinos, and top-tier entertainment. It's a city that's built on, being over the top, right?
For sure. The Strip is the main attraction, all those fancy hotels and casinos.
Oh, yeah.
But it's interesting that Vegas has changed. It's not just about gambling anymore. The Fremont Street experience is something else, with all the lights and music. And get this, the guide mentions that you can actually take a trip to the Grand Canyon from Vegas.
Wow.
You can go from all that glitz and glamour to this incredible natural wonder in just a few hours.
That's amazing.
It is. And you can't forget the Bellagio fountains.
Yeah.
That water show is really something. It's a bit of beauty in all that craziness.
It sounds surreal, like two completely different worlds right next to each other.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Orlando, Florida. Our guide calls it the ultimate family-friendly destination. And with all those theme parks, it's gotta be up there.
Definitely. Orlando is like the place to go for family vacations.
Mhm.
Walt Disney World with the Magic Kingdom and Epcot, it really is the happiest place on earth for a lot of people.
And then there's Universal, right?
Yes. Universal Orlando Resort has the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is huge.
Yeah.
And then you have SeaWorld, which is kind of a mix of seeing marine animals and going on rides. And if you're into space stuff, the Kennedy Space Center is pretty close by. It's a fascinating place.
So many things to do, especially for families.
Totally.
Okay, last city on our list. We're heading back to the West Coast to San Francisco, California. The guide says it's known for its bay views, iconic landmarks, and rich culture.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like Europe in some ways.
It does have a unique vibe. The Golden Gate Bridge is the most recognizable thing about it, I think.
Yeah.
It's an incredible bridge, especially the bay in the background. And then there's Alcatraz Island, which is a pretty dark part of American history, but really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf is great, lots of energy and good seafood. And you can't forget Lombard Street, the crookedest street in the world.
It's more for pictures than actually driving on.
Right, pretty much. But it adds to the city's charm. It's a city where you can experience a lot in a small area. Steep hills, different neighborhoods, and a really cool culture.
It's a cool place.
Yeah.
So we've gone from the nonstop energy of New York to the kind of foggy, relaxed feeling of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
America's cities really do offer so much. But of course, we can't forget about the natural wonders. The guide talks about some amazing places. First up, the Grand Canyon in Arizona, it's called, and rightly so, one of the most famous natural wonders.
What gets me about the Grand Canyon is just how huge it is. It makes you think about how old the Earth is.
I bet.
When the guide says breathtaking views, that's like the understatement of the year. Standing at the edge and looking down into this massive canyon, I don't even know how to describe it.
Wow.
And if you want to get closer, you can hike down into the canyon or even go whitewater rafting on the Colorado River at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
It's a chance to really connect with nature, with the power of the planet.
It makes you feel small, I bet.
Oh, totally.
Okay, next up we have Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. This one is special because it's America's first national park.
Right.
It seems like it's all about geysers and hot springs and stuff.
It is. Yellowstone is famous for its geysers, like Old Faithful,
Right.
and the hot springs are just incredible. They're caused by heat from inside the earth, and it creates these amazing colors and formations.
Wow.
But Yellowstone is also important for wildlife. There are bison, elk, bears, wolves. It's a great place to see animals in their natural habitat.
That's amazing.
It's like a living, breathing geology lesson.
Okay, let's move east and check out Niagara Falls in New York. It's right on the border with Canada. Our guide calls it a magnificent waterfall, and millions of people visit it every year.
Niagara Falls is all about power. The amount of water going over those cliffs is just unbelievable.
I imagine.
It's no surprise it's such a popular place to visit. There's just something about seeing that much natural force that's really impressive.
All right, now we're heading to the Great Smoky Mountains, which are in both Tennessee and North Carolina. They're famous for their misty mountain scenery and hiking trails.
Mm-hmm.
This one sounds more peaceful, more chill.
Yeah, the Smokies are different. They're more about lush forests and these amazing misty views. It feels almost magical. They have tons of hiking trails, so you can really get into nature and explore at your own pace.
It sounds really relaxing.
It is.
And last but not least, our guide talks about Yosemite National Park in California. It's called a paradise for nature lovers. It makes me think of those huge mountains and waterfalls.
Yosemite is definitely all about those big, dramatic landscapes. The guide mentions its waterfalls, which are massive, and then there are the giant sequoia trees, some of the biggest and oldest living things on the planet.
It's crazy to think about that.
And then you have those crazy granite cliffs like El Capitan and Half Dome. Rock climbers love those. Yosemite really shows you how diverse and huge the American landscape is.
It sounds amazing.
It is.
So we've gone from the depths of the Grand Canyon to those misty mountain peaks. The natural beauty in the USA is definitely a big reason why people visit.
Oh, absolutely.
But let's be practical, right? You need to figure out how to actually get to these places. The guide talks about flightinhotels.com, which can help you find good deals on flights and hotels.
Yeah, the planning part is important. It's great to dream about these places, but you need to figure out the logistics.
Right.
The guide mentions a few things about flightandhotels.com. They have a best price guarantee, which means they try to find you the cheapest options by comparing different companies.
It's good.
And they say their website is easy to use. Booking flights and hotels can be complicated, so that's helpful.
It can be.
Also, they have options all over the world, not just in the USA. And they say their payments are secure, which is important when you're booking online.
Definitely. It sounds like a good website to use.
Yeah.
The guide even tells you how to use it. You just go to the website, put in your dates and where you want to go, and then you can compare all the options and book right there.
Simple.
Exactly. It seems pretty easy to use, whether you're traveling in the USA or going somewhere else.
Having those kinds of tools online can really make planning a trip a lot less stressful.
And maybe save you some money, too.
Right. More money to spend on the actual trip.
So, we're wrapping up this deep dive, and it's clear that the USA has so much to offer travelers. It's amazing to think that you could go from the craziness of Times Square one day to the quiet of the Grand Canyon the next.
I know.
Okay, maybe not literally, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
The guide has shown us what makes the USA so great for travel, from those famous landmarks to the incredible nature.
Totally.
And hopefully you, the listener, now have a better idea of why people love to visit the United States, whether you're drawn to the cities or the amazing landscapes.
Yeah.
So here's something to think about. What place in the USA makes you the most curious? And what do you think you could learn about America by going there? That's something to ponder as we finish up this deep dive. Thanks for listening.